Hey y'all, this is Jessica with Bless Your Heart. Let's do a tie-dye peekaboo tumbler today. We're going to start out with a 30-ounce Modern Curve from Arctic. This is just from my strip bucket. And I'm going to use my alcohol markers. The markers that I have are dual-tipped. I'm going to rummage through this bucket O markers and pick out the colors that I want to use today. And for some strange reason, I decided on pinks and reds. So let's see what we got. Now there are 1,000,001 ways to do a tie-dye tumbler. I have gone in and painted each and every little individual stroke, and I did one several years ago that I used alcohol markers. And you just kind of color in a swirl and you just back and forth with it, and you want it to be spiky looking and you just want it to be rough. We're going to go in with a little bit of rubbing alcohol after this to kind of blend everything in. But when you go to the next color, you want to overlap just a little bit. Like you want to go half in the color before and half out of the color before. And you want to do that with every color that you're using. And that's going to give you that kind of blend, but still look spiky and messy that those tie-dye colors normally do. I started with my darkest and I'm going to go to my lightest. And we're just going to see how everything turns out. Now with this one, you're going to see right here when we get to that little part right there, how going in and out of the color before is going to kind of blend it in and give it takes on a little bit different hue. Now when we go in with the lightest pink, it's almost not going to show up, but when we hit it with that alcohol, it's going to kind of blend a lot better. But when you go in with those other colors, it does give it a little bit more depth that pale pink is generally not going to have on its own. Now I'm just going to go in and just pick up a random marker and kind of fill in all these white spots. And I'm going to kind of just make everything blend as best I can. I don't want it to be uniform, but we are going for balance. So you kind of want it just to balance out and make it look like you wanted it to look like that. And these are the colors that I used. I don't know why I didn't show you that to begin with. But once you get that done, we're going to take this little cup and I'm going to put some of my rubbing alcohol in it. I'm going to use a little tiny paintbrush. I'm going to clean my paintbrush off and then I'm going to dab it in the alcohol and I'm going to kind of just go in and flick. I'm not painting back and forth. I'm not doing the brush back and forth at all. I'm just kind of dragging from that top to the bottom, top to the bottom, top to the bottom. And I go in and re-dip my brush in the alcohol and dry most of it off because that alcohol will go in and kind of erase a little bit. But what I'm doing right now is going in and just kind of blending in and letting it all kind of come together. It's going to smear it a little bit and fill in those white pieces, but you're still going to have the difference and just how it looks all shattered like tie-dyes do. And it turns out I don't like it at all. But that's okay because we're going to go in and I just cut out some hearts from Hobby Lobby stencil vinyl. I'm going to go in and place them just kind of in my favorite parts of the tie-dye. And then we're going to go in and do a tack it method of glitter over all this. And I'm going to take it outside before that and I'm going to spray it with a pale pink and a white. And I'm going to do kind of a burst in the middle of white. And then I'm going to put the pink on the ends. And this is what we look like. And I am going to go in and mark my peekaboos because I'm going to use a pale pink and a white glitter. So I'll be able to see those through that. And then I'm going to use just some tack it glue and paint all over this, let it dry completely, and then I'm going to move on to the glitter. Once that glue is all dry, I'm going to go in with Glitter Craze, Diamond Series, and Pale Pink. And I'm going to go in with the Glitter Guy Karen. I'm going to go full coverage in the middle of that white with Karen, and I'm going to tilt my tumbler and hold my glitter pretty far away. I'm not really going for like a for real ombre. I just kind of want to see the difference in both of those glitters. That's really about it. And for the bottom and the top, I'm going to go full coverage around the rim and then do the exact same thing and kind of pull my cup at an angle and tilt it. And I'm going to pull my glitter back and let it kind of just fall on all of it. Once that's done, I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to burnish all this glitter down until it is all smooth to the touch. And then I'm going to remove my peekaboo parts. And once we have that all smooth, we're going to go in and take our little weeding tool and pick up our little peekaboo spots. Now there is no epoxy on this cup yet, so we do want to be careful when we're removing that and get ready for the next step. I used the exact same file that I used for my peekaboos for this, and I created just little offsets, and I cut the whole entire file back out in this Cricut gold textured vinyl. And I'm going to use the offset that I created and put it around each of those little peekaboo spots, and that's just going to kind of finish it and give it a little something extra. I'm going to do that for the big hearts and the little hearts, and then I'm going to take those little solid hearts and kind of go in and fill in where I think that there is a hole or a gap. Completely user preference. You do whatever you feel like you need to do. And then I'm going to take one of the larger hearts and put it on the very bottom, and that's how I'm going to finish the bottom out. After I get all this placed, I'm going to put it on my turner and epoxy until smooth. And here we go. I do not know what I'm going to do to finish this cup out, but we'll see. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.